I am uniquely qualified to deal with the homeless problem. I befriend them, I hang out with them, and not in the soup kitchens or the shelters, where they live in the streets. I give them rides. Listen, I gave one guy who needed one of those urine bags, but of course a homeless guy can't do that. So I would take him to the store way on the other side of town who had the cheapest adult diapers. One lady got hit by a car while she was begging for money on the street. She died. I actually gave her a memorial service in a McDonald's parking lot where 6 guys showed up. Pretty interesting. Anyway, the community I live in, the city, they're proposing spending about $25,000 per homeless to solve the homeless problem. Of course, it won't. Now, when I read their stuff, listen to them on the television, you never hear the term job or personal responsibility. So they're going to spend all this money. They'll have more homeless next year than this. San Francisco, the same thing. They're spending $100,000 per homeless person, all these programs, and they wonder why there's more homeless. Man, these people are so dumb. And let me say this before I give you a personal story of just what happened a couple of days ago. I believe that there are homeless that are truly helpless. And it breaks my heart when I meet them and see them in the streets. These are the people I'm willing for my tax dollars, for my donations to churches and other organizations to go to provide facilities and healthcare and food, whatever they need 24 hours a day, and get them off the streets. But that's the minority of the group, not the majority. So a couple of days ago, I was taking my cell phone to a cell phone repair shop. The screen was cracked. When I walked in, there was a big sign that said, "Reduced hours for lack of help." Walked in, nobody was around except I heard a voice from the back that said, "Hey, I'll be with you in a moment. We don't have a receptionist." I then went to Kroger for some groceries, and when I was putting them into my car, I noticed this lady sitting in the car near me. Car was packed full of crap like she was living in it. She got out dirty, probably 40-ish, overweight, comes over to me and asks me if she can, tell me a story, ask a question. I said, sure. And so I listened to her story. I love those opportunities, by the way. And the bottom line was she needed $28 so that her and her husband could pay their rent and they wouldn't be kicked out. And I said, listen, I appreciate your story. May I tell you mine? And she said, sure. I said, I'm not going to help you with this month's rent. If you get kicked out, you get kicked out. But here's where I promise I will help you, and that is with next month's rent. But it's on the condition you take some personal responsibility. Let me give you some suggestions. Here at this Kroger store, look at all the signs in the window. Help wanted. Get your husband, clean up, dress up with the best dudes you have. Come back. They'll probably hire you today. I told her about the cell phone repair shop. I said, listen, you have wonderful communication skills. I can't believe you can't get a job as a receptionist. Of course, she gave me the reasons why that wasn't going to work. And I just said, listen, I can't accept that. I said, let me give you another personal story. My brother, older brother, was born mentally and physically handicapped. We were raised on a farm, and he worked as hard as everyone else. And I'm so grateful to this day that there are businesses out there that when he became an adult, they would carve out a place in their business to give him a job so he could experience the value and dignity of that, even though he didn't have the mental and physical capabilities of a normal person. And he never missed a shift in his life. I'm saddened and I grieve. He passed away a couple of years ago, but in his honor, I would not help anybody that's not willing to take some personal responsibility. I said, let's share phone numbers here and let's be in touch, and I'll help you get a plan to never be in this place again. Of course, she declined, and I didn't get her phone number. It's always first part for me. So what should you do? 1, don't give them money. They don't need your cash. Number 2, talk to them, listen to their stories, and then you give them the proper response from yourself, and hopefully we'll discuss jobs and personal responsibility.